Okay, we're gonna check this functional molded part workbench within Catia. So this is a workbench that is, let's say, more focused on the objective of the functional modeling. And we can design various constraints for some areas where we don't want, let's say, material. Also, we can use various behavioral features. So we're going to discuss about this within this this section. So the functional molded part is similar to part design, but has more, let's say, interesting options that will maximize the design in terms of speed. So we're going to take a look at these functional volumes and functional features. So there are the basic features that are the most common, and after that we're going to have the multi-body feature, the functional features, the dress up, which are quite similar to other dress up. We're going to have the function extraction, the mold, and we can define some analyses that are not specific only to this workbench. So we are going to start with the first one. It's called added feature. It has this icon over here, and added feature adds material volume within a body. So that's important because within this workbench we're going to need to use multiple bodies for our parts, so it's much more complex and different from simple part design. Also keep in mind that the shell properties are not inherited within this workbench. Okay, so for the first step I define a shape. So over here are the dimensions. I'm gonna jump in Catia to see them better. So we're gonna have the main shape sketch, which is this one. So there are various dimensions. Over here we have a length 105 millimeters. After that I define a 3-point arc with a radius of 63 millimeters. And for the bottom we're gonna have this large radius with 308. And in order to have the sketch fully constrained, I position this let's say the dimensions. So using that shape with the main shape, when you're gonna use this workbench, you're gonna see the solid functional set. So I have over here solid functional set 1 predefined for this, which is a shareable prism. So if I'm gonna take a look at this, we're gonna see that we're gonna have this prism, so it's similar to an extrude. We have the first length 100 millimeters, and I have checked the mirror extend options. So mainly this will function just like a pad, a simple pad in part design, but we're gonna have these shell properties. So within the shell properties I've selected the two faces at the top. So we're gonna see over here faces to remove two elements, and also we're gonna have a thickness of 5 millimeters. So that's the initial part, and after that with the added feature I define all the possible shapes that we can define. So the first one is going to be an added prism. I have over here a sketch for that. So I'm just going to activate it, activate all children, and we're going to see the sketch for the prism will be like this. Again, I decided to fully constrain it, but you can use a sketch that is only tracing white, so no need for this. But as you can see, my sketch extends the initial design. So over here at the bottom, we're gonna see that this sketch will be further away from the initial part. And within the added prism, so this will be the added feature, and the first option will be prism. We're gonna have to select a profile. So in this sketch, will be that sketch for prism that I showed you previously. So we're gonna see that it will be set to 20 millimeters, also mirror extend, so a total of 40 millimeters in this case. But What's important within this workbench, we have this possibility to go trim to shell. So if I wouldn't have that checked, my part will look like this, so similar to part design if I will define a new sketch. But in this case, since it's added prism, I have the possibility to check the trim to shell option, and that will automatically trim my part over there. So if I'm gonna go in a section over here, I'm gonna see that my newly feature will extend to this curve shape that I defined previously. So this is the main benefit of using this workbench. I'm going to deactivate the added prism in order to discuss the others. So I'm going to deactivate that. And the following one will be added revolve. So here are the possible options. So we're going to have sweep, revolve. Let's go with a sweep, since this is the order within the software. So I'm going to activate the added sweep. I'm going to have this sketch activated. Sketch for sweep. Okay, and I see that this will be that sweep. And I'm going to have to do some editing. So we're going to have this plane. I'm going to activate it. You're going to see that there are no associated geometry for this one. Let's take a look at that. So sketch, I'm gonna activate this, and now with this sketch for sweep added, I see that the added sweep automatically added, so activated itself. So within the definition it will be similar to the other one. So the first one was prism. For a sweep you're gonna need a profile. In this case, the profile is defined over here with this ellipse, and we're gonna have the center curve. So for that, I define a new line over here. On that line, I define the plane. So the plane is positioned to be normal to curve. And these are the two sketches. So I'm gonna show those as well. So this is the sketch. And on this sketch, using plane definition, I define this normal to curve plane. And within that plane, we're going to have the following sketch. So this ellipse, 35 by 50 diameter, at a distance of 90 from the horizontal axis. Again, the added sweep has the same functionality, just like the prism. So I have the possibility to trim it to shell. By default, it will overextend the intended area, and with the trim to shell, we automatically identify the shellable area within the part, and will no longer extend over that. So again, if I'm gonna go in a section cut, but I'm gonna need to define the plane. So this will be that. We're gonna have this area, so it will be quite impossible to manufacture this. So this is something to keep in mind when working with this workbench. If you're going to have a lot of curve areas, you can't have those inner areas. So this was the sweep. I'm going to have that deactivated now, and we're going to go to the following one, which will be the revolve. So I'm going to activate the revolve sketch. We're going to see that all the children for this will be activated as well, and we're going to have this. So for the revolve, this will be the sketch. So just a spline and an axis, and the revolve will try to rotate this around the axis. So in this case, within the added feature, the first angle and the second angle was set to 100 degrees. So you're going to see that that area. And again, we're going to have that trim to shell. Also, since the revolve didn't have a close sketch, we're going to use the thickness. In this case, we're going to have 5 millimeters for this this revolve. So similar, if I wouldn't trim that, my part would go like this. So within a section I will have this case, and with the options to trim to shell, the revolve will extend to the wall of the part. So I'm gonna deactivate this, and we're gonna go to the following one. The next one is with a thick surface. So I'm gonna activate the thick surface. This is gonna be a thick surface. It will work similar to the other, but the main let's say difference is that you're gonna require a surface. So in this case I created a sketch and a spline, a 4-point spline, to define this area within GRT shape design, an extruded surface with a length of 20 millimeters, mirror extended. And after that, within the added the thick surface, over here we're going to control the thickness of this element. So in this case it's set to 5. I can go to 3, that will make it slimmer, or I can further extend it to maybe 10. And again, the trim to shell, initially the spline overextended the part, but using that option my profile will no longer extend the outside of the part. So this was the thick surface. I'm gonna have that deactivated, and we're gonna have the last one, which will be the added body. So for the added body, you're gonna need to insert a new body within your part. I name it external shape, and within the external shape I define a pad using a simple sketch. It was an oriented rectangle. I no longer fully constrained it, so it's marked in white, and I added the pad for this, so I can hide the thick surface elements. So how does this work? It uses an external body, and I'm gonna activate it. We're gonna see the external shape. You're gonna have to select it over here in the external shape. In this case it was this element, and again we're gonna have the possibility to have it trimmed to shell. That means that let's say the feature, again we'll trim that, but I'm gonna have to activate this. Currently it's not activated. As soon as I will activate it, this will be hidden and this will become active, so the shape will no longer extend over there. But okay, this didn't automatically hide, so I'm just gonna hide that, and this will be that shape. Again, if I'm gonna go into a section over here, I will see that my shape will look like this with that internal hollow part. So this was the added feature. Keep in mind that you can also define some drafts over here. So if you're gonna need to have some angles, you can also use a draft behavior, and also some fillets that will have the possibility to be added to various areas of the part. Also drafted fillets. So mainly for added prism, the most commonly used let's say feature and type is the prism, since this requires those simple sketches. But in case you wanna try something else more complex, you can either go with revolve, sweep. So for sweep you're gonna need 2 sketches, for revolve only 1, or with thick surface, but with that you're gonna need to define some surface elements. Or you can go with external shapes. You're gonna design a new part, and you're gonna have the possibility to trim to shell using that. Okay, so this was the first video regarding this, so I'm gonna go one by one for each function. So this was for the added feature. Within the next video we're gonna discuss about the protected feature from this workbench. So if you find this video useful, leave a comment in the section below the video. And I hope you managed to stay until the end of this video. So it's quite long, 15 minutes for a feature, but it's a feature with multiple options, and I decided to discuss all of those. Okay, see you in the next video.